What if I told you that there is now an AI model that can sit and code for you? Not for 5 minutes, not for 1 hour, but continuously for 24 hours straight without getting tired, without forgetting what it was doing, and without messing up the context. Sounds insane, right? But that's exactly what OpenAI has just released. GPT 5.1 Codex-Max, a model built specifically for long engineering tasks, deep technical projects, and agent-style coding workflows that used to be impossible for older AI models. Alright, so now let's talk about the feature that everyone is curious about: 24 hours continuous engineering tasks. First, when someone says the model can work for 24 hours straight, it does not mean the AI is sitting there awake like a human pulling an all-nighter. That's not how AI works. What it really means is that the engineering agent powered by the model can keep going for hours and hours without losing track of what it was doing. The magic here is that it can hold on to its task memory even across extremely long workflows without collapsing because of context limits. Earlier, AI models had a very simple problem. The longer the conversation or the task got, the more they forgot the beginning. It's like talking to someone who remembers the last 5 minutes but totally forgets what you told them an hour ago. But this model solves that with something called compacting system. Think of compacting as your brain cleaning up old rough notes. You throw away the messy details you don't need anymore, but you keep the important logic that helps you continue your work. The AI basically does the same thing. It automatically composes unimportant information, keeps only the essential context, and frees up space to remember what actually matters. This lets it carry memory across multiple context windows for long, uninterrupted work. And why is this such a big deal? Well, because old models would simply break under long workflows. If you tried debugging for 4 to 5 hours, the model would start giving confused answers. If you tried refactoring a full project, it would lose track of files. But now, with this system, AI can actually debug for multiple hours, refactor entire code bases, run autonomous workflows inside CI/CD pipelines, do continuous testing and patching, and basically handle engineering tasks that used to be impossible in one shot. Alright, now let's talk about how this whole thing actually works under the hood. So earlier, AI models had a very simple limitation. They had one single memory container. Imagine you are trying to fix everything like notes, ideas, instructions, code into just one tiny notebook. Obviously, it's going to overflow. And once it overflows, the model starts forgetting things from the beginning. That's why older models became confused during long tasks. But Codex-Max works very differently. It now uses multiple memory windows, which means it's like having different sections or separate notebooks for different stages of the task. And when one section gets full, it doesn't panic. It simply summarizes the old information, keeps only the important parts, and moves the summary into a compact window. This is why it can keep track of tasks for hours without losing the plot. Now let's talk about something called token compaction. Again, simple explanation. The model rewrites its own memories into smaller, more optimized versions. Think of it like you cleaning up your long, messy notes by converting them into small bullet points that still hold the full meaning. So the model is constantly cleaning and reorganizing its thoughts to save space. And here is another update that makes a huge difference: efficient thinking tokens. So earlier, models needed more tokens to think logically. More tokens meant more cost, slower results, and more chances of breaking the flow. But Codex-Max is now smarter. It needs fewer tokens to reach the same logical conclusions. This means faster reasoning, lower cost, and a much smoother workflow. So for users like us, this is a big win. But the real power unlocks when you look at the agentic actions. So this model is not just replying to you, it actually works like a software engineer inside your system. It can run commands, edit files, create folders, interact with your IDE, or operate your command line. So instead of just saying what you should do, it literally does it for you. Now before you start imagining Codex-Max taking over your entire engineering team, let's slow down and talk about safety. Because OpenAI didn't just make this model powerful, they also made sure it doesn't accidentally break things or introduce security risks. And trust me, this part is super important, especially if you are planning to use AI in real engineering workflows. So first, OpenAI clearly states that this model has stronger cybersecurity capabilities. but not in a dangerous way. It's smart enough to understand vulnerabilities, refactor insecure systems, and even suggest safer architectures. But it doesn't cross into that high-risk territory where the AI can autonomously exploit systems or do something harmful. Basically, it's helpful but not dangerous unless a user misuses it. Now, let's talk about the actual safety layers built across Codex-Max, because this is where OpenAI has done a lot of homework. They have trained the model with guardrails so it naturally avoids risky actions. Then on top of that, there are actions safeguards, which means even if the model tries to do something sensitive, the system asks for permission or blocks the action. The model also works inside sandbox environments, so it's like giving it a fake computer to play with. It can test things, run scripts, make changes, but all inside a safe, isolated box where nothing outside gets harmed. Every command, every action, every file changes is logged and monitored. So if anything unusual happens, you can see exactly what the AI did. And of course, the model doesn't have open network access, so it cannot just go online and do whatever it wants. This keeps the whole system controlled and predictable. But even with all these safety measures, let's be realistic. The model is still not perfect. It can hallucinate sometimes, meaning it might produce code that looks correct but doesn't actually work. It can also create insecure code if your instructions are unclear or if it misunderstands the architecture. And this is really important. Codex-Max is not something you plug directly onto mission-critical production systems. You still need testing, reviews, CI/CD pipelines, and human judgment. And here is a very important tip for you as a viewer. Even if the AI writes the entire codebase, you are responsible for validating it. Always run tests, check security vulnerabilities, and review logic. Treat AI-generated code the same way you would treat code written by a junior developer. Now let's talk about something everyone wants to know. Can I actually use Codex-Max right now? And if yes, then where? Because there is no point getting hype about a model if you don't even know how to access it, right? So here you can see GPT-5.1 Codex-Max is available in Codex today for use in the CLI, IDE extension, cloud, and code review. And API access is coming soon. So that's it for today's video, and thanks for watching.